What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Maestro Vapes, alright? Today we are looking at the 26650 Nemesis, okay? This is the 30 millimeter Nemesis from Atmomixani. This is the authentic, and it's pretty cool, you know? I've been wanting to check one of these out for a little while, but I've been a little bit skeptical because I'm a copper dude. I'm really a copper dude or a brass dude. So to get a stainless mod, I wasn't sure that it would hit that well, man. But really, it's a pretty nice mod. It's a pretty cool mod. Let me have one more vape off of it. Whoa! You can get this thing kicking pretty hard. I've got the new Patriot. This is the version 2 Patriot. But let's take it up close. We'll take it apart, see all the goodies, all the bits and pieces, how it fits together, what's different, and what's the same, okay? Then we'll come back and have another vape off of it and talk a little bit more about the pros and the cons, okay, my friend? Let's take it in. Freaks me out, man, that this thing hits this well. All right, so here it is. This is the 26650 Atmomixani Nemesis in all its glory. When you get one of these guys, it comes in this really nice micro suede pouch, and it comes with an extra spring and an extra O-ring in it in case you need it, okay? And it's nice that they throw that in. Really cool. I think the throw on this one is a little bit softer than the one that comes installed, okay? And the bag is really cool, really nice, just looks super classy to get it. Got your steam train on it, www.atmomixani.gr if you want to check out their website, okay? Putting that aside, let's take a look at the mod, because this 30 millimeter mod is pretty sick, if I do say so myself, and I'm not typically into stainless mods, okay? But this one is done pretty well. The engraving on this thing is just badass. Like the Death Angel on this thing looks really nice. It is super deep and just very, very clean. It's not sharp. It's just very, very well done. Flipping it around, it's got the newer logo on it. It's got the little steam train on there. It says Nemesis with the new font, and it's got your serial number. This one happens to be 391, okay? Very, very cool stuff. I dig this thing a lot. It looks fantastic. Fantastic. I'm really, really digging this engraving. Otherwise, it's similar to another Nemesis, you know, to an 18650 Nemesis. It's got that lock ring that we're really familiar with. Really nice, really smooth. Like this thing, you just whip it around, you know. It locks, unlocks really easily. And like the Nemesis, you don't have to push it all the way down for it to lock, and you don't have to take it all the way up to unlock it either. You know, you can kind of leave it with those vent holes open, fire it, and it's fine, okay? So really, when I lock it all the way down, but when I unlock it, I just kind of spin it until I can fire it. Like, really, it could be there, you know? So that's it. Pretty smooth, really clean. Flat top on this guy. Now, you could also get this with a slant top. So what the slant top does is gives a slanted appearance. Let me take it out of the bag and do this proper, guys. So you can do this with the slanted top. It gives it a slanted appearance, and then you can put all of your 22 and 23 mil addies within it, and it looks pretty sharp when you got this thing dialed on there. Like it would look something like that, which looks pretty cool. I dig that slanted top cap a ton, all right? Very, very cool. Let's take this thing apart, man. I dig the Nemesis. It's one of my favorite things. One bummer. The bottom switch does not have any engraving, and it would have been really cool to see something here, whether it's that little steam train or just Atmomixani or just something there would have been pretty cool. But right now there is nothing, maybe on the next revision of it. Top of this thing comes off just like the other Nemesises, but right here you've got a little slot that fits into this groove. And then what happens is you can kind of just, this thing doesn't get lost, right? Furthest out it is with no airflow is there. Slide it into full airflow, half airflow, whatever. It doesn't end up like on the other side. It's pretty cool with that groove, okay? Kind of tight that O-ring in there for sure, but it's pretty decent, like nice and tight like a tiger. So you can use your bottom fed airflow tanks in this if you desire to use them, okay? Top cap comes off. Threading on this thing is brilliant. Like it's nice. The tolerances are pretty tight. I dig it. I dig this thing a lot. Very, very clean. Okay, threading on the tube is really clean as well. I'm going to take this battery out of here. Just take a look at that threading. Just really, really nice, man. I dig this thing a lot. Okay, contact on this thing is silver-plated copper, if I am correct. Delrin insert in here to isolate this thing from arcing, and it does come up pretty high, pretty much to the bottom of your atomizer that you're going to screw in here, okay? But otherwise, it looks just like any other Atmomixani contact, but it is a little bit bigger. Give that a little polish before I put it back in there, all right? Screws back into that Delrin. And there it is, okay? Tube itself is pretty thick. It feels sturdy. You know, it's not bendy or anything. It's a nice tube, okay? Really clean. The cool thing on this thing, though, is this bottom button. Let's get into that guy. Lock ring is what you expect, you know? It's really nice, really smooth. Threading is just like, you know, any other Nemesis, really. And it's clean. It's very, very clean, the lock ring. Put that thing back on there. Whip it into shape. The threading on the base is very cool. It's got your airflow in here, your ventilation, just like all the other ones. 4 airflow holes in here, ventilation holes, if your battery needs to vent, okay? Put that tube aside, top cap aside. Now, one thing you're going to notice here is there's no play. Like, I'm trying to twist this button around, there's no play. And the reason why is there's 3 rice pellets holding this thing in place, which is cool. Your other contact, another silver-plated contact, and this thing has a huge surface area on it. Huge. So let's take a look at this battery. Surface contact is the same size as the bottom of my battery minus the wrapper. So just perfect. Just perfect, man. Really good conductivity on this guy. Threading on it is nice and clean. Short throw on this switch. Dig it a lot. But here's your 3 rice pellets. Okay, so that's just going to secure this thing from wobbling around. Now, I'm going to drop those on the table, if I can. All 3 of them, if you would. Maybe just 2. No, I'll have to pull that 3rd one out. But these pellets are made of brass, okay, as is the threading on this ring as well here. Same thing, brass all the way around, and it looks like a standard Nemesis. It really does. This Delrin ring on here is replaceable. There's a lot of parts that you can get through Atmomixani for these if you do have problems, like something happens with this and you break it, you can get another one for a couple of bucks. It's pretty cool. If you need, you know, more springs or contacts, you can always find those through Atmomixani. You can get different colored tubes and whatever you want. Atmomixani is good for that kind of stuff, man. Spring on this thing works really, really well. When I got it and I had it, I put some low-res builds on it. I wasn't too sure, but it really does hold up well. It really, really does. Bottom of this thing, nice threading, but it does look like, you know, a normal Nemesis bottom firing switch. Like, that's what it looks like, minus the logo, and it's much bigger. You know, much, much bigger. Let me see. Do I have a 22 mil something here? So there's something that's 22 mils compared to this guy. It is huge, okay? Tubes, once again, 22 mil compared to the 30 mil, much bigger. It's nice and meaty in your hand. If you dig 26-650 mods, you might like this one. Let's put this thing back together and have a vape off of it. That spring sits really nice and tight on here too. Okay, where am I here? Now, get that lined up with our little rice pellet slots. There it is. Start putting these in here. There we go, there's one. Now there is a way to put these in. I like to have the flat side up, but that's just me. I don't know, I feel like it works better that way, but maybe I'm wrong. Push that in there. Okay, so we got those all in. Now you can put your contact in. My hand's starting to cramp trying to hold that spring down. It's not like super stiff spring, but it is fairly stiff, okay? That guy dialed in. There it is, man. Get that snugged up nice and tight. Nothing will move around. That Delrin sits up until you press that button, and bam, there it is, you know? Really nice. Throw on this thing is pretty groovy. Let's put this together, man. Now you saw it with the flat cap, right? Let's try this thing out with the slanted cap and see how that looks. One thing I found though, when I use these vape power batteries, they're a little bit longer than MNKEs, and even when I use MNKEs, like you see that little gap at the bottom of the tube, it just kind of covers that with the MNKEs. And it'd be nice if it went further up, like if it went to like here, and that was your throw. Just boom, 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 boom. But that's not the case. There is a lot of room, a lot of throw on this thing. But hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Now, I think I have this dialed into my atomizer with my slanted top. Actually, I don't, because I just switched everything around, didn't I? I want to put the slanted cap on here, line up that slot with this groove. Bam, we're on. I'm going to put the Patriot on here. This is the V2 Patriot. I'm kind of digging this. The airflow holes on this are sick. I'm going to dial that up right about there. And I dig this slanted cap. I think it looks super cool. That pushed in all the way down. And there we go. But as you can see, you know, like it's got a ton of throw on it. And really, you don't need that much throw. It'd be nice if it was a little bit shorter. You know, if you could tighten this up to having a throw like that where that lock ring was all the way up, you know? But it does show those ventilation holes, so that's cool, right? And all you have to do is just tighten, bam, and you're on. You're on. All right? Looks really, really cool, man. I'm dripping juice out of this thing, though. Careful. Very nice, very nice. Let's take it out and have a vape off this thing, man. Flat cap. Put that thing away. Let's see how she rock and or rolls. You know what? One more thing I did on my last video was I did a voltage test using a 0.7 or 0.8 ohm load. So let's try that with this. Battery's hitting at 414, so it's pretty fresh. And on some copper mods I had, it was hitting around 3.8 something, 3.9-ish. So let's see where this comes in. Wow. 3.9? 388. Wow, this thing hits super well for a stainless mod. Those contacts just spank this thing super hard, okay? I'm glad we got to look at that. Really glad. All right, this time we can really take it out and have a vape off this bad mamma jamma. Oh, man. Can you believe how hard this thing hits, man? That voltage test kind of freaked me out because on the last video, that's the reading that I got from my Copper Cartel mod. So this thing hits as well as the Copper Cartel, okay? And it's a stainless mod. So really, these contacts, it's just done well. It's done really, really well. Hits super well. Digging it, 26,650. I got that battery just jacking amps. Boom! It's just killing it. And I dig this thing a lot. A couple of things that I really dig about it are the looks. Like, stainless steel is nice. It's clean. You don't have to polish it all the time like your copper or brass mods. Because that becomes kind of, monotonous to do. So the upkeep on this thing is a lot less than for those mods, which is a definite plus in my books. The engraving on it, really sick. I really dig the engraving, dig the way this thing looks. If you are going to get it and you have a lot of 22 millimeter atomizers, get the slanted cap. Get the slanted cap, because it's going to make the overall appearance of it look really cool. Plus, you can get a little less throw in that button. You could dial that up a little bit more using the slanted cap and backing out your atomizer and getting your pin up just a little bit further, okay? So definitely, if you can, get that slanted cap. Bummer about it, there's no engraving on the button. I would have really liked to see some engraving on the button, but that's kind of nitpicking it, okay? Everything else about this thing is smooth, sick. It's just Atmomixani quality, and it's really, really cool, man. I want to thank the guys at Dash Vapes for sending this on to me for review. You guys are the bee's knees, my friends. Go and check them out, dashvapes.com. They got these, they got the shined ones, they got the matte ones, they got the every other kind of ones. They've got all the parts. They're the Atmomixani dealer in Canada. So if you need, the Delrin sleeve or rings or contacts or springs or anything that you need for all your Nemesis goodies and 6.9s and stuff like that, they got all that stuff in stock, my friends. But yeah, right now, this thing kind of freaked me out. Like, the way that it hits just blew my head off, man. It works really, really well. I like the way it looks. Like, stainless just looks kind of smooth and classy. The matte finish is really, really nice, But, maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you dig shiny. I'm going to have another Nemi video coming up really soon. And this is kind of an warm up to that, okay? So I'm pretty excited about that, and this has made me really, really excited for that. So stay tuned for that one, man. I'm digging it. Yeah, definitely get the slanted cap if you get this thing. Check them out, dashvapes.com, man. This thing is tits, my friend. Actually, it's not tits, because the only thing that's tits is tits. Oh, I almost forgot. The button never gets hot on me. That's another thing that I really, really love about this thing. I've been firing low resistance builds on this around 0.1. My battery's a 40 amp battery that pulses up to 60, so it can handle those builds. Remember that, know your limits, vape within it. But I've never had hot button, like not even remotely warm on this, which freaks me out. Like my copper mods, brass mods, stuff like that, I get warm button. You know, I do when I do low builds. My battery doesn't get hot, but there's heat transference, and sometimes in stuff that has springs in it, it definitely gets hot. Like the spring is your weakest point, but on this guy, it doesn't. Like I can chain vape this and no hot button whatsoever. Oh, I'm going to juice this thing up, guys. Thanks for chilling out with me. It's always cool to have you guys drop by, watch the videos. I really, really appreciate it. It's cool as long as you guys keep watching them. I'm going to keep making them for you for sure. Yeah, this one freaked me out. I wasn't sure I was going to like this, but I really, really do. Yeah, if the throw on this button was a little bit shorter, it'd be nice. But, you know, nitpicking, right? It does hit. Just awesome. Phenomenal, man. Anyways, guys, I'm going to jet out of here. Like I always say, butt out, vape up, and breathe easy. Know your limits and vape within it. And you, right there, sitting on the couch, are going to have a great day, my friends. I got to go. Phone's ringing. You guys have a good one.